Hi everyone, welcome back to Dimwitted Daredevils. It's been quite a busy time for the both of us, but I managed to squeeze in a cheeky little trip to Varanasi during Christmas week, so come along for the ride. The history and legend of Varanasi go back more than 10,000 years. The city features in the Hindu mythology and sacred texts. Legend has it that Lord Shiva took a walk here with goddess Parvati at the very beginning of time. It is also the city of many names. The name Varanasi is possibly based on the fact that it lies between two rivers, Varuna and Assi, which flow into the Ganga. It was named Benares after the mythological king Benar. Some also say that Varanasi, spelled Varanasi in Pali, gave rise to this particular name. It is still quite popular amongst locals by this name. It was mentioned in ancient Buddhist texts as Kasi or the luminous, highlighting its position as a center of learning and culture. Multitudes thronged the church on Christmas Day, emphasizing how the diverse population lived side by side in absolute harmony in this ancient city. As I walked the tiny roads chock full of people, jostling for space and attention, shopkeepers selling everything under the sun, I worried about the pandemic, which was just starting to rear its ugly head again, but no one else seemed to be quite bothered. The locals here seemed to be living in their own little worlds in this holy city for the Hindus, the city with the holy Ganga, the city with innumerable temples. As a priest told us, if you start with a cart full of rice and place a single grain at each temple, you'll run out of the rice first. There are more than 80 ghats or riverfront steps in Varanasi, each with their own associated legends. The boatman who gave us a brief tour of the ghats proceeded to tell the stories, each more interesting than the last. Probably the most famous is the Dashashwameva Ghat, where legend has it the father of Lord Rama sacrificed 10 horses in an appeal to the sun god. It is also where the Ganga Aarti is currently performed every evening. We'll be back here in a bit. Then there were stories of the Kedar Ghat, where Lord Shiva himself rose from the water to appease a devotee. Sindhya Ghat, where the Hindu god of fire Agni was born. Narada Ghat, where apparently couples do not bathe together as it invites marital discord. Two ghats in particular, Harishchandra Ghat and Manikarnika Ghat, are where the Hindus have been traditionally cremated. Seeing the rising flames and billowing smoke, one could not help but think about how the Ganga was the cradle of civilization and how life comes full circle at its banks. The Ganga Aarti is a spectacle in itself. Thousands thronged the spot, securing their place hours ago. Both the ghat and the overlooking boats were flooded with spectators. It was quite an elaborate affair, with a group of priests offering their prayers in a synchronized fashion, and the people offering their own tiny diyas in the water, numerous small oil lamps floating on the river like stars on the water. At Ramnagar, around 20 kilometers from Varanasi, lies a fort built in the Mughal style by Raja Balwant Singh of Benares in 1750. A number of daily use objects and weapons of the Maharaja have been kept on display at the fort, but photography was unfortunately prohibited inside. The fort has its own slice of the Ganga opposite the Tulsi Ghat, and it is a very picturesque location. Not only is Varanasi a holy site for the Hindus, but the Buddhists have a significant site here as well. Just 10 kilometers away from the main city lies Sarnath. It is here that Buddha gave his first sermon. After attaining enlightenment at Bodh Gaya, Buddha travelled here to preach his first 5 disciples. Around 200 years later, Emperor Ashoka built several stupas at Sarnath. The most important among them was probably the Dhamek stupa. This is also where the Ashokan pillar with emblem was erected. The emblem is currently housed in the adjoining museum, where again photography was not allowed. A relatively new tourist attraction is the Prava Dam and Wildlife Sanctuary, located 60 kilometers from Varanasi. It was a nice scenic spot. However, the river was pretty much dry at this point of time. Just adjacent to it is the Wildlife Sanctuary, where jungle trails lead to 2 beautiful waterfalls, the Rajdari and the Devdari. Initially a hunting preserve for the royalty, at one point of time, Asiatic lions were introduced here. Currently, it only has birds and some nilgai, although all that we encountered were macaques. I'll just give you a glimpse of how majestic the waterfall really was. On the way back, we made it a point to visit the Bernars Hindu University. Established in 1916, BHU has over 30,000 students residing on campus, making it the largest residential university in Asia. It houses around 140 departments, organized in 6 institutes. The drive through the beautiful campus was thoroughly enjoyable. Benares is truly a food lover's paradise. Cuisines, tastes, flavors all come together in this beautiful city with hundreds of choices awaiting your taste buds. One cannot help but marvel at the innumerable things on display and for sale in Benares. From the trademark saris to trinkets to bangles, the sights, sounds, flavors of the city are truly unmatched. Indeed, as Mark Twain once remarked, Benares is older than history, older than tradition, older even than legend, and looks twice as old as all of them put together. That's all from my end, folks. We might get busy with work again, and I don't really know when the next video will be up. But till then, stay safe, stay well. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like our content, and leave a comment. It really helps the algorithm. I'll leave you with the waterfalls once again. Peace out.